911, what's your emergency?
The following content is graphic, emotional, and includes dark humor that may not be suitable for all listeners. Discretion is advised. These stories are based on real-life EMS and first responder experiences. They may be disturbing to some and are definitely inappropriate for your HR department. Any medical discussion is personal experience, not protocol. Use your damn brain, follow your local guidelines, and when in doubt, call med control. If you're struggling, don't do it alone. Talk to someone, a coworker, a friend, a therapist. Or hell, reach out to me. Need help now? Text or call 988 or visit 988lifeline.org. Let me tell you something. Complacency is the quiet killer. The killer of our jobs, our patients, hell, even us. Everyone loves to talk about the big calls, the shootings, the car wrecks, the people bleeding out on the sidewalk. The adrenaline hits, the hero music swells. High fives in the bay like we just won the Super Bowl. And yeah, that stuff matters. That chaos is what gets us hooked on this job. But the calls that keep me up at night, they're quiet. They're the ones where alarms didn't go off. Let's talk about alarm fatigue. Because guess what? That monitor beeping every 30 seconds, that sat that dips to 88% and comes back up. That BP you silence because they're always hypertensive. Those things kill people. Remember in EMT and medic school when they said, treat the patient, not the monitor? Yeah, this is where that came from. The beeps and alarms are annoying as fuck. I get it. But we've got to remember to treat the patient right. Not assume we know better than the monitor. If it's going off, check the patient. If they're stable, fine, hit silent, but not until you reassess them, because that alarm might be trying to save a life before your gut even catches up. I had a patient once, elderly, post-op, supposed to be stable. Vitals were okay, until they weren't. I saw the signs, tachy, lowish pressure, nothing emergency, until she crashed, full code, and I stood there knowing. I felt it coming, and I let the numbers talk me out of it. That is complacency, not laziness, familiarity. I've seen this before, they'll be fine. But they weren't, and I carry that. This job isn't just chaos, it's the quiet moments, the things we miss, the ones we brush off. And leadership, sometimes it exists, sometimes it doesn't. When it does, it saves lives. When it doesn't, that silence spreads. We ask for gear, training, support, and get told no, not because we're wrong, but because we're not priority. That kind of complacency trickles down. It tells us, don't bother asking. But when someone has your back, you check vitals again, you care more. You stop ignoring alarms and start noticing people. People think EMS is rainbow unicorn bullshit. TikToks from the back of the truck, lights and sirens. Nah, it's 20 hours on your feet. Your knees hurt. Your bladder's full. Your brain's fried. And that damn pulse ox won't shut up. You think it'll probably resolve, but sometimes it doesn't. And if you're the medic when it doesn't, you'll carry that weight. This job kills us slowly. Not with trauma, not with blood. With fatigue, with silence, with normalization. You stop checking. You assume they're fine. You get tired, you get numb. That's how people die. So let me remind you, don't ignore alarms. Don't silence them without checking. And if your gut says something's off, believe it. I learned about ARCC working in a hospital. Ask a question, request an action, convey concern, chain of command. If something feels wrong, start with a question. Doesn't work, push harder. Still ignored? Climb the chain. You don't have to call it ARCC. Even if it makes you the asshole in the room, that's better than being silent when it matters most. Be the annoying medic, because complacency is the quiet killer. Let me give you another one. This time, I caught it. Barely. I was deep into a 48-hour stretch, hour 38 or 39 maybe. I'd picked up an extra shift on top of the 24s we were already running. I was an advanced EMT at the time, riding with a BLS service, doing backup runs for 911. We got toned out for what sounded like a BLS transport. Nothing too wild, just one of those, hey, go check him out calls. Older guy, at home, looked a little sick, but nothing jumped out. I checked him out. He seemed okay. We loaded up, got rolling, and maybe 2 or 3 minutes in, he goes, my chest hurts. Now, I'm cooked. My brain's running on fumes and gas station coffee. I've been up forever, and this doesn't feel like an emergency. But I glance at the monitor, just out of habit more than anything, and it jumps out at me. STEMI. Clear as day. Even through the brain fog, that 12 lead didn't lie. Yes, I know 8 events cannot interpret per protocol. They can, however, hook the patient to a 12 lead and read. I rechecked vitals. Sure enough, things were heading south. BP dropping, skin changing, I called for ALS immediately. They were 5 minutes away, tops. Gave aspirin, nitro. By the time ALS pulled up and we transferred care, the guy was circling the drain. They got him to the hospital. Turns out he needed a full coronary bypass. Major blockage, total occlusion. If I'd brushed it off, if I'd said, it's just chest tightness, he's fine. If I'd let the burnout win, he'd probably be dead. That's the thing about fatigue. It doesn't always make you sloppy. Sometimes it makes you dismissive, and dismissive kills. The only reason that guy's still here is because I glanced down. Because something didn't sit right. Because for just 1 second, I didn't let burnout win. Let me be real with you. Burnout isn't just being tired. It's not yawning in the rig or needing an energy drink. It's something else, something darker. For me, burnout looked like running 24s and 48s back to back. COVID crushed us. We were non-stop. House after house, patient after patient, mask stuck to your face, gloves tearing, brain on autopilot. And yeah, I was fried. But the worst part? I didn't even care anymore. Not because I'm cold, but because I couldn't afford to. Because if I did care, if I actually let myself feel it all, it would have crushed me. I was on a rig where you didn't speak up. You didn't say, I'm burned out. You didn't say, I need a break. Because if you did, you'd get the classic line, shut your ass up and get to the truck. So you don't speak, you don't ask, you don't cry. You just keep running calls. And somewhere in all that silence, you start believing you're not supposed to feel anything at all. Burnout isn't always quitting. Sometimes it's staying and feeling nothing. And that's the scariest version. Because when you stop giving a shit, patients die, partners burn out, and the best people in this job slowly vanish. They don't leave loud. They just stop showing up. This job is heavy, but silence makes it unbearable. And if no one's checking on each other, we're already in the red. If I could talk to a new medic right now, one just getting into this job, here's what I'd say. Don't mistake silence for strength. It's easy to think the quiet ones have it figured out, that the ones who just push through are the tough ones. But sometimes the quietest medics are the ones carrying the most weight. So speak up. Check your partner's face before the monitor. Learn how they sound when they're tired, and more importantly, learn how you sound when you are. Treat every call like it's real, until it proves otherwise. I don't care how many times you've seen a drunk diabetic, or how many psych calls turn into transport and forget it, because the one time you assume could be the one time you miss it. Listen to your gut. That tension in your spine, that twitch in your brain that says something's off, it's there for a reason. And if you hear that little voice, but the room's quiet and nobody's saying anything, be the asshole. Say the uncomfortable thing. Ask the second question. Recheck the vitals. Call the code before it gets called on you. Because you can clean up after being wrong, but you can't undo what happens if you stay silent. We don't get to pick every call we run, but we do get to choose how we show up for them. So show up, even when it's quiet, especially when it's quiet. If you think it's too heavy to say it anyway. It beats a eulogy. You don't have to apologize for surviving however you can. You're not the reason things are heavy, you're the reason they're still moving. Need support right now? Text or call 988 or visit 988lifeline.org. You're not alone, not in this job, not in this fight. Want to share your story or connect? Visit critical-run.com or message the Facebook page Dispatched and Dysfunctional. We're building this for you, for them, for all of us.